Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Money, Real Business podcast. I'm Lauren, and today we have Ariel on the show, who's selling an Amazon FBA business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Hey Ariel, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I'm sure the buyers are really interested in learning more about your business. But before we dive in, I'm going to give everyone a brief overview of the business. This is an Amazon FBA business. It was created in January 2018, and it's in the sports and health and fitness niches. The average revenue for the business is $138,251 per month, and it makes an average of $20,699 per month in net profit. The assets included with the business are an Amazon Seller Central account with 123 SKUs, a primary and secondary domains, including all site content and files, employee contracts, supplier contracts and relationships, a Walmart account, a WooCommerce account, trademarks, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube social media accounts, and an email list with 7,000 subscribers. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price, but further details can be provided to verified buyers. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 62586 to learn more about this business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that we know more about the business, let's hear from the seller. Ariel, can you fill us in on your background in starting and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. So I basically was a programmer before I started selling on Amazon, and I was just getting sick of being in front of the screen for like 8-9 hours a day. And I was just looking for something different, something new that I can do. And yeah, I just stumbled upon YouTube videos about Amazon FBA, which sounded very interesting. And I started researching a lot about it. I didn't do any course, like literally started just from YouTube. Yeah, and 3 months later, I launched 3 products, one of which are still live. And yeah, one of them I just got delisted because of some copyright. I didn't know what I was doing, basically. I didn't do any tests. I just looked at the numbers and it seemed nice. And yeah, out of 3 different products in 3 different niches that I launched, one brand that I just stuck with because it's something that I'm passionate about, that I have up to today, basically.
Fantastic, yeah. So when you were looking for an online business to start, I know you said you stumbled on an Amazon FBA business on YouTube. Were you ever tempted to try any other e-commerce business models like Shopify, for example? Or was there something specific about Amazon that really drew you in?
No, I didn't think about doing any other. Well, I did hear about drop shipping, but it never attracted me like Amazon, just because, first of all, the numbers I saw on Amazon were crazy. The numbers that people are doing on a very relatively short period of time. And the automation part of Amazon, how most of it is automated. So you just give it a start, like a push, and then just kind of maintain it and make sure everything is running smoothly. So that was very attractive to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazon's definitely the most hands-off of the e-commerce platforms. You mentioned you tried 3 different products in 3 different niches. How did you go about selecting which 3 products to start with? And why do you think the one product that succeeded found the success that it did?
Well, the way I found them was just Jungle Scout. So I was just looking at numbers, and I was looking for listings that haven't done like a really good job, kind of, that I can do a better job. So that was kind of my strategy when I started. And the reason the one of them was successful and now is actually my best seller is literally because I was passionate about it. So for the first year, I wasn't profitable with it. So it was very hard for a year and a half. And I was actually I started waitering and stuff because I got to a point where I wasn't making money with it. just because I really, really liked the product, and I did YouTube videos, like instructional videos. I got to like a really, really high level of using the product. I made instructional videos, which got a lot of views. One of them has almost 1 million views on YouTube right now. And I had like 4 iterations of that product. So changing things around, making it better. And I guess that's what led to its success.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like you've been on a great journey with this business, building it up from that point. As you say, no profit for the first year and a half. It's certainly succeeding very well at the moment. What are the reasons you decided to sell the business now?
Well, I recently got married, and my wife is not an entrepreneur, let's just put it that way. And she just wants something much more stable. And I was thinking about it, and after doing our research, we believe that the world is heading into a recession, and we'll be able to have a lot of good investment opportunities in the next year or so. After talking about it for a while, we just decided to sell the business and invest the profits and then start something else. And there's actually one thing that I don't like about the Amazon business that would be pretty weird for some people, is that it makes you lazy. Like, you don't have to work a lot to make money. So that kind of like, at least for the kind of person I am, it just makes me like really lazy. And I would like something new in my life that would push me to work and to do stuff. So these are kind of the 2 reasons that we decided to sell.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It sounds like you got some exciting times ahead, finding another project that will challenge you. This Amazon FBA business faced a lot of challenges in the beginning. What was your biggest setback or challenge while building this business?
Well, I had a lot. I had a lot of challenges. So when I started, one of the products that I discontinued now actually was doing very well for the first 3-4 months. And I was shocked. I was literally shocked at how easy it was to make money on Amazon. But then I started like getting a lot of bad reviews because it wasn't a good product. I just did a good job with the listing and all that compared to the competition. And then everything went down. And then I had a year of like, I also wasn't following my expenses properly and the money I was actually making. So I would use the money that I get from Amazon, but I was already starting to eat in my investment. So it's like the cost of goods that I was getting, the money back for, and I would use that. So I had a very hard year there. Inventory management was really hard for a long time, especially as I scaled, because as you get more SKUs and you also start selling at different countries, I started selling literally all over the world, but now I kind of brought it back to focus on a couple of marketplaces because it was just getting too complicated for me, at least. And the amount of capital you need to actually get into a new marketplace properly, to support the sales. So it was taking a bit of money from the marketplace that is doing the best for me, which is the US right now. So I kind of dialed back from other marketplaces, and I kind of just send goods during Q4 because some of my products are doing really, really well in Q4. So inventory planning was not easy. Obviously, the COVID prices going up, the shipping prices during COVID going up was very confusing and hard to deal with. But then we had to change prices on some of our products just to keep profits healthy. That's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah, it's certainly been a challenging time being in e-commerce, as you say, with all of those COVID problems. Definitely a steep learning curve there when it comes to inventory. You've overcome a lot of the challenges that you mentioned and built this business up to where it is today. What would you say was your biggest win since starting the business?
Probably just not giving up, because I feel like a lot of people would give up after a really hard year. And I feel like my biggest win was believing that I can do it and I can make it, and going through the hard times until I was finally able to get something working and running, and then investing the profits of that into the business and really scaling it. I feel like that is by far the biggest win.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely the mark of a good entrepreneur to be able to push through those hard times and come out the other side stronger. Let's have a look at your traffic now. Are you using PPC or listing description SEO to drive traffic to your products?
Yeah, so my listings are optimized for SEO. Well, only when I kind of launched it, I haven't done any like reevaluations of my listings. So I'm sure there are some opportunities for improving SEO because people look for things with different keywords in different ways. So I'm not optimizing in the best way with the SEO, but I did pay a company that is supposed to be pretty good to do my SEO for the listings when I launched them. So that's about SEO. And with PPC, I run it myself. I don't really like kind of change things around much. I just make sure that nothing is eating, like getting really high costs, and then I will tone it down. But other than that, I feel like if a person that is really good with PPC buys the business and works on PPC properly, just that alone can improve the business greatly.
You mentioned that you've got a YouTube video that's gotten over 1 million likes. Is social media a big driver of traffic for you?
Well, the YouTube video has gotten almost 1 million views, so not 1 million likes. I actually don't track it. It would be hard for me to tell you. But for my bestseller, I don't have the most amount of reviews. I got competitors that have like double my reviews, but I sell more than all of them. So I am pretty sure it's got to be attributed to all of my videos that people go on YouTube and they look for that particular product and they see my product. So I've got like kind of a more brand presence than them. And it's hard for me to say because I haven't tracked it. But if I had to guess, I would say yes, social media does help me with my business for sure.
Yeah, great. As you say, that brand awareness is very important. You touched on optimizing PPC and SEO as growth opportunities. Are there any other major growth opportunities for this business?
So getting into different marketplaces would be one. If for somebody who's good with social media marketing, like I was talking to a guy that said that so for one of my products, it's like a really cool kind of product that could be trendy and it's fun and to do with people. It could even be funny. So somebody recommended me that I utilize TikTok videos, and he said that he's getting like really good results with products that are way less like of a good fit for TikTok. So social media marketing, I feel like some of my products have like a really good potential there that I'm not utilizing at all. Yeah, and just optimizing social media marketing and just running the business in a better, like more professional way. Because I probably spend about 5 hours a week on the business. I got a VA that does customer service, and she would talk to Amazon if there are any issues or if any communication with Amazon, she does as well. And that's pretty much it. That's all that comes to mind right now. I've also started selling on Walmart. It's still pretty early on. I've only done like 80 sales on Walmart, but things are starting to pick up with some of the products. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it sounds like there's some good opportunities there that a buyer can really run with. So that's fantastic. Let's take a look at your supply chain. Can you walk us through what your supply chain looks like?
Yes. So all of my products are manufactured in China between 5 suppliers. I have one forwarder that manages all the shipping. At least after COVID, I've started using sea because it's just like air freight was just unmanageable in terms of pricing, except for one product that is very light that I still use air for. I use sea shipping for everything else. And I've got a warehouse that's not associated with Amazon. Last year, I had inventory limits with Amazon. I couldn't send as much as I thought I could sell. So I sent some of the stock to that warehouse and then I replenished to Amazon when I had more room for inventory. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, great. And how long does it usually take to replenish your inventory from the day you order with the suppliers to when it reaches Amazon warehouses?
So for the light product, it would be around 2.5, 3 weeks. And for all other products, it would be an average of, I would say, 2.5 months.
Okay, fantastic. And you mentioned you did have some Amazon inventory limits last year. Do you know what your current inventory limits are at Amazon warehouses?
So right now, for standard size storage, it's 25,856. And it was around 60,000 just literally a week ago. So they've lowered it. And for oversize, I have 10,948.
Fantastic. So let's take a look at what a typical work week looks like for you. You mentioned you spend around 5 hours on the business per week. So what sort of activities are taking up your time?
Well, mostly just like going over stuff. So I would wake up, I would go over PPC, like what's my ACOS, how much I spent. I check like all of my product reviews on a daily basis, like a few times a day. And yeah, just talk to suppliers. My forwarder manages most of the work in terms of talking to suppliers, picking them up. He's got access to my Amazon account. He can see like what he needs to send and all of that. And yeah, and just paying people.
Fantastic. Yeah, it sounds like you've really made this a nice passive source of income for yourself. You mentioned that you do have a VA that works with you as well. So how many hours does a VA spend on the business and what sort of tasks do they manage for you?
Well, I pay her for 2 hours a day just because she's really good, but she doesn't work 2 hours a day. She worked with Amazon for a couple of years, so she understands Amazon very well. And yeah, I literally like consult with her on stuff that I don't really know within Amazon, and she would direct me. Yeah, I would say she works maybe like on average 40 minutes a day.
Okay, fantastic. And would the VA be willing to work with the new buyer?
Yes.
Wonderful. So, with everything we've discussed in mind, what do you think the biggest challenge will be for a buyer taking over this business?
If the guy understands the Amazon ecosystem and he has run Amazon businesses before, I don't really see like any challenges specific to my business that any other Amazon business wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think this business would be able to be taken over by someone who's never worked on Amazon before?
I wouldn't recommend it unless he's got somebody to run it for him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He has to learn how everything works because he's probably going to mess things up.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with a business this size. How much support are you willing to offer the buyer to help them navigate any challenges that might come up?
So I love the brand and I'm willing to offer literally lifetime support. I know when Empire Flippers first asked me, I said 6 months, but yeah, after thinking about it, like anytime they would have a question, I'm willing to help them. And because I'm really from the niche that I'm selling, I've been in that niche since I was 14. So I feel like I have a lot of input that other people might not have. And I would always be here to answer questions and to like give my opinion on maybe new product launches that they're thinking of, or like quality and just how to run the business, what I think would work better and what wouldn't work. I feel like I wouldn't have a problem to do it for years to come.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's very generous of you. And I think buyers could really use that support. So that's wonderful. When it comes time to actually negotiating the sale, would you be open to something like an earn-out agreement?
I would, but it would depend on the terms. So obviously, we want to invest the money, the proceeds for cash flow, so we'll be able to live off something. So I would definitely want most of the money up front. Yeah, as long as it's like 70-80% up front and then the rest over time, I'm happy to hear about it. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And would you commit to a non-compete agreement?
Yes, gladly.
Fantastic. So, Ariel, that leads us to the final question of the interview, which is if you had to put yourself into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think your business is a business worth buying?
Because it has seen pretty strong growth. It's very niche, which doesn't have on my best sellers, there aren't a lot of competition at all. It could be very trendy for social media if somebody is able to utilize social media and knows how to do it properly. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot of growth potential for somebody who's willing to put in the work and not just maintain, but actually try to grow the business.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a lot of potential here. Is there any other details about the business that you'd like to share with our listeners that I might have missed?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Ariel, for coming on the show and giving us some insight into you and your business. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 62586. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.